A very good morning to all the students. Today we are going to begin with our fourth chapter, that is absorption by roots. And this is the first chapter of plant physiology. Now I'll explain the term physiology. The plant physiology is a branch of biology which deals with life functions of the plant. It includes the functioning of cells, tissues, organs, organ systems, and the organism as a whole. In this chapter, that is absorption by roots, we are going to deal with some of the most fundamental life processes like osmosis, diffusion, active transport, etc., which have tremendous significance in the life of all the organisms. You all have learnt in the lower classes that roots not only fix the plant in the soil by giving it support, but it is also the most important and life supporting function, that is to absorb water and mineral nutrients from the soil and conduct them into the stem for the supply to the leaves, flower, fruits, etc. The things that the things that are absorbed by the roots are water and minerals. Now let us see what is the need for water and minerals by the plant. Plants need water for photosynthesis, transpiration, transportation, and mechanical stiffness. Photosynthesis and transpiration you are going to read in the next chapters. You know that photosynthesis involves water as one of the raw materials to carry out their process. Transpiration also needs water, as water is given out in the form of water vapor by the plants. Transportation involves transport of minerals and sugar from the roots to the other parts of the plant body, and also it is required for mechanical stiffness, that water provides turgidity which is necessary for the stiffness of the plant tissues. Now what are the need for the minerals to the plant? Plants need salts and ions. The salts involves nitrates, phosphates and sulfates, while ions are potassium, calcium, magnesium and chlorine. These are the major salts and ions which are needed by the plants. Now let us see what are the characteristics of a root for absorbing the water. The ability of the root to draw water from the soil is dependent on the following factors. First one is surface area. The surface area provided by the rootlets and the root hair should be enormous. That's why it allows the water to be absorbed. Next point, the root hair contains cell sap. Cell sap you have learnt in the lower classes about cell sap, and the cell sap should have the higher concentration than that of the surrounding water, which allows the movement of the water by the osmosis. We'll study osmosis later in this chapter. Next is root hair has thin cell walls and cell membranes which allow the movement of water molecules to be dissolved with the dissolved substances in and out of the cell. So these were the main characteristics of the root for absorbing the water. Now let us study about the different physiological processes involved in absorption and conduction of water and minerals to the plant. The first process is imbibition. Imbibition occurs in living as well as dead plant cells which absorb water by surface attraction. In germinating seeds, seed coat ruptures occurs due to imbibition. Next is diffusion. It is a free movement of the molecules of a substance from a region of its higher concentration to the region of its lower concentration. Next one is osmosis. Osmosis is movement of water molecules across a semi-permeable membrane from a more dilute solution to a less dilute solution. Osmosis will only occur due to a semi-permeable membrane. We'll study osmosis in more detail in this chapter. Next is active transport. Active transport is a passage of substances from its lower concentration to its higher concentration through a living cell membrane using energy from the cells. Nutrients are absorbed by the roots by active transport. So all the minerals are absorbed by active transport, and also through diffusion many minerals are absorbed by the plants. Osmosis allows only diffusion of water. Now let us study about the osmosis in a detailed structure. Osmosis occurs through the semi-permeable membrane. Osmosis are of two types. The first one is exosmosis, another one is endosmosis. Exosmosis means the water moves out of the cell when it is put in the higher concentration or in the hypertonic solution. Endosmosis means water enters in the cell when the cell is placed inside a hypotonic or a less concentrated solution. Osmosis should continue until the concentration of the water molecules becomes equal on both the sides of the membrane. There is a stage reached when no osmosis occurs even if the concentration of the water molecule is not same on the two sides. This is known as the osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure is defined as the minimum pressure which must be exerted to prevent the passage of the pure solvent into the solution when the two are separated by a semi-permeable membrane. I'll show it with the help of an experiment. You can see this experiment figure 4.4, which is demonstration of osmosis. In this setup, we have taken a beaker, we have taken some concentrated sugar solution on the thistle funnel and covered the mouth of the thistle funnel using the cellophane paper. You can see it properly. We have covered it with the cellophane paper. Or you can use an egg membrane or animal bladder to cover the path.